As the narrative unfolds, we observe a metroid drifting through the cosmos, later seized by a corporation's bounty hunter and taken for scientific examination. During their studies, the researchers unearth a phase inside the metroid, seemingly extraterrestrial in nature, with the ability to infiltrate any life form and spawn a new alien creature. Subsequently, the focus shifts to a young girl named Drain. Drain resides on a different world alongside her brother Andy, who is not a biological being but a synthetic drone fashioned by Drain's father to watch over her. Drain longs to depart from her planet to gaze upon the sun, obscured from view at her dwelling. To embark on their journey, they require a pass, attainable by logging 12,000 hours of labor. Drain accumulates the hours with her mechanical companion, Auntie, yet upon receiving the pass, she is informed that the stipulations have altered, now demanding 24,000 hours of work. Overwrought, Drain vows to depart for a new world, no matter what. Seeking assistance, Drain confides in her ally. Her confidant Taylor reveals the existence of a defective starship, its interior lined with numerous cryochambers that could facilitate effortless relocation to another planet, bypassing the need for a pass. The complication? A droid is required to unlock the chambers. Together they approach Dream, making a request for assistance. If you help us, we can all escape from here.
We have the chance to break free this very moment. All we require is your automaton Auntie. She will remain unscathed. Presently, seeing that Lone has also come to realize the absence of a more viable escape strategy, she concurs to aid the collective. Thus, they devise a strategy, embark on their spaceship, and steer their course into the cosmos. The name of one part was Romulus, and the worst thing was that Romulus was about to be destroyed in just 37 minutes. Hearing this, everyone gets scared, but Tiger gives courage to all and says that they will finish their task and return in just 30 minutes. After saying this, Titler, Auntie, and one more partner proceed inside, while the three girls in their group sat watching. They knew Auntie could open Romulus's system. After opening Charmulus, these people wanted to go inside, and that there was a fragment of Romulus that had been annihilated, seemingly disintegrated into nothingness, and amidst the ruins was a semi-fused automaton. In any event, the time was not right to dwell on these calamities. They press forward in their quest for desiccated seed vessels, which ultimately they do stumble upon though. They did find each other, but the unfortunate part was that they had very little fuel left. They immediately began searching for fuel inside the space station. All the dry pots had fuel for only 3 years, and they needed fuel for 9 years to reach another blended planet. While searching for fuel, the three of them entered a chamber where the faces of Arian's eggs were kept frozen. Would stick to the humans' mouths, and then aliens would be born from the humans. Seeing this, everyone got scared and tried to escape from there. Unfortunately, the door of this chamber was now closed, and the bigger problem was that the temperature of this chamber was rising gradually. Andy couldn't open this door because his technology was outdated. He also didn't have the security discard of this space station. All of this was watched by their partner for the remaining days. In Rams, sitting in another part of the same spaceship. Seeing them in trouble, she enters Romulus to help them. Once there, the first thing she encounters is the half-melted robot. Seeing this, Rain gets an idea because this was the report of the same spaceship. Therefore, it could have had the security codes of the space station, and if the chip of this robot was inserted into Andy, he would also be capable of controlling the entire spaceship system. So I removed the chip and reached toward the location where the trio was confined. Through an opening created in the defense, they seize the chip and Andy implements it in his system, initiating the reboot. As Andy's system updates, this chamber's temperature increased considerably, causing even the previously frozen facehuggers to begin thawing. Once the system update concluded, Andy unlocked the chamber, allowing their escape.
They hastily retreated, and before the chamber could be sealed again, a single creature had sprung out and assaulted a team member. It had totally enveloped their comrade's face, prompting Rain to devise a plan. There existed within the base a freezing unit commonly called ground freeze. Eventually they succeeded in removing it from their friend's face, yet they overlooked something. Had injected something into this girl's mouth. They had just resolved this issue when the chamber between the two sections of the space station closed, splitting them into two teams. Rain, Addie, and Talent were in one team, while everyone else was in another. Dream noted that the new chip out of fear had significantly advanced. It could communicate and speak much better. On the other hand, the full girl who had been attacked by the face creature felt it starting to move inside her stomach. She utilized a medical device to visualize her stomach's interior and shockingly discovered an extraterrestrial entity. This creature erupted forth, causing her instantaneous demise. Spectators Red Dialer and ND saw the entire incident unfold. Momentarily incapacitated, an adjacent fuel tank detonated, igniting the area within the Romulus Uni space station. Dialer and Rain's companions' lives were in danger and they decided to save them. However, the task was far from easy. To rescue them, the trio had to pass through a chamber which could also endanger their own lives. Despite the risk to their own safety, they could not simply stand by with folded hands. After some thought, they devised a plan. Rain knew that these creatures could detect humans by body temperature and noise. As they couldn't see, this would be their advantage. They decided to adjust the chamber's temperature to match that of humans, making it seem as if no one was inside. They would proceed quietly without making a noise, blending in with the environment. Meanwhile, the two siblings were shown in Romulus. Trying to save their lives, they were confronted by the same alien that had emerged from the girl's stomach. Before the alien could detect and attack the girl, her brother suddenly appeared behind her, covering her mouth to avoid noise, and then stabbed the alien with a weapon in its belly, which implied that the creature died. However, the reality was that the alien had only pretended to be dead to manipulate them. The alien was alive and seeking revenge. It spilled a lot of acid on the boy in retaliation.
Even though the boy died right in front of his sister's eyes, I saw that she was already full of fear. To save her life, she ran towards the chamber door, but the chamber door was closed. In hope, she started banging on the chamber door without knowing that these Aryans are attracted to noise. Hearing her voice, the AMB starts to follow her. Meanwhile, in another chamber, Dyla and Rain also heard her voice. Her scream turned into a loud shout and Dyla also got badly distracted and made noise while moving. Consequently, many faces turned their attention towards them. Their lives were in danger, but Andy helps both of them and manages to save them from the chamber just in time. They ultimately reached a new chamber where they found sanctuary. The door led to a different section of the space station, where one more female was struggling. An alien creature loomed behind her. She hammered on the door of their chamber, yet Andy remained hesitant to unlock it. Andy refrained from aiding her because his primary goal was no longer the protection of human life. His inner circuitry had been altered by the robotic system of this station. As a result, now his prime objective was to preserve the spaceship, and because he was situated in a distant sector of the space station, he kept the door closed, worried that the extraterrestrial might infiltrate this segment of the spacecraft and cause destruction. Rain Indigo continued to implore him to open the door, arguing that the girl was in peril, yet Andy disregarded her appeals and under their watchful eyes, in a separate chamber, the creature launched an attack and overpowered the girl, plunging her into despair. She struck Andy's cheek, accusing, "We have transformed, you've turned callous." But Andy shows scant reaction and guides Rain with another crew member into a research facility within the space station, home to a scientific breakthrough, a concoction devised from numerous trials. There was a liquid that could cure any human disease. Even a person on their deathbed could be given life. screen watched a video demonstration of this liquid. As soon as it was administered to a sick mouse, it became healthy in a second and started moving. In my lab, we had weapons that could be used to kill aliens. With these weapons in hand, the group wanted to get out of the lab. Back inside the lab, the monitor screen again showed us the mouse that had been cured. Suddenly, its body burst, indicating the liquid wasn't entirely safe and had severe side effects. The group had reached a part of the spaceship that looked like a cave. In reality, it was not a cave, but a chamber where large aliens were sleeping on all sides of the walls. To avoid them, the group moved ahead silently. However, Taylor suddenly heard a voice of a teammate who had been attacked and killed by an alien. The alien had not completely killed the victim but had brought them there. The group wanted to go back and somehow managed to rescue the victim. The state of the rescued individual was critical. They were at risk of dying at any moment. Tyler directs the young woman to use the stolen medicine from the laboratory. The sound from their discussion draws the aliens. One alien then assaults Tyler along with Andy. Witnessing the attack, Ring promptly leaves their fellow survivor in an elevator and sets out to save Andy as Tiger has perished from the alien attack. They apprehend Brain End and extract the chip from his brain, which had been implemented into the spacecraft's automaton Anti. With the chip's removal, Andy is restored to his normal state. Shortly after accomplishing this, multiple locales come under siege. Prior to the offensive, Rain swiftly turns off the craft's artificial gravity, causing the extraterrestrial beings to start drifting weightlessly. Subsequently, Brian grabs his firearm and commences his assault against them. Numerous extraterrestrials perished due to his onslaught, yet regrettably, his weapon slipped from his grasp and an alien drew near to him. He was on the brink of demise when, fortuitously, Andy counterattacks the extraterrestrial, eliminates it, and fulfills his mission. Our mission to protect Tran leads us to a young lady in an elevator who had encountered an aggressive alien. Suffering from intense agony, she administers the antidote provided by Tylo, concocted by the scientist in the laboratory. As soon as she injects it, her condition significantly improves. Meanwhile, here Dream and NDP arrive. Now, there were only 7 minutes left until this part of the space station was destroyed. Tran wanted to take Andy and the girl to the escape pods without wasting time, and quickly they lay the two in the escape pods, and she was about to enter herself. But just then, she heard screams from her companion. She opens her friend's pod, and we see the girl has given birth to a creature. She was about to extract it quickly and destroy it, but then the spaceship's alarms began to sound, meaning that soon this part of the space station would be destroyed. To save her own life, Rain rushes to the space station's control panel and makes some changes to delay the station's destruction, giving them a bit more time to escape. Just as she finishes doing this, during her return, she discovered that the entity her ally had recently birthed, the alien, had undergone considerable growth and was now assaulting her ally. Rain promptly launches an assault against the creature and swiftly withdraws to secure a position further back. Wearing the spare suit, he tied himself to the spaceship, and as soon as he saw the Indian attacking him, he jumped from inside the space station. The alien, who also jumped into space to attack him, got stuck there because Ray was wearing a spacesuit. With its help, he returned inside the station, which meant that now only Ring and Anti were left alive. Antigos had already laid down in the tripod, and now he also wanted the tripod. And discovering that they each depart for a dual phase world, concluding this tale as it's demonstrated,